Hello, my dear students in 4th primary. How are you? Now, order and organization are very important in our life, and they help us do any activity well. For example, if you are playing a game with certain rules, لو بنلعب game ليها rules معينة, we won't be able to play the game and enjoy the game without knowing these rules. لازم نبقى عارفين الrules قبل ما نلعب الجيم دي to enjoy this game. If there is certain order for mathematical operations, we will find out the answer to this question in Unit 8, Lesson 2, which comes first. In this lesson, we will learn to use the order of operations to solve problems with two operations. In the beginning, let's watch the video in this unit. Please get a piece of paper and a pen to write the problem found in the video. كل واحد يجهز pen و paper عشان نكتب البروبلم اللي موجود في الفيديو عندنا.
Order. Not that sort of order, but this sort. This sort of order is making a line to go back into class after recess. Lining up for lunch, these students are standing in an orderly line, but are not in a specific order. We need some rules too. Perhaps line up in order from shortest to tallest. Today is all about order and rules. Ah, rules. Think of your favorite film. You wouldn't see the end before the middle or beginning. No! Or playing a video or computer game. It has to be watched or played in a specific order for it to make sense. It's exactly the same in math. There's an order to doing things. Calculators are pretty cool. They use rules to calculate. And we trust them to get the right answer, right? I'm doing this bit in my head before testing it with my calculator. I add 5 and 7 together to get 12. And then I'm going to multiply 12 by 3, which makes 36. The answer is going to be 36, right? No! Actually, it's 26. What happened there? My calculator must be broken. Let's do it again. Something mathematical must be going on here. There is a special rule being used by my calculator. Put on your math detective hats and try to work out what is going on.
And now from the video, we have learned about the importance of order and organization. Also, I am sure you have noticed the question. أنا متأكدة إن كلكم لاحظتوا الكويستشن اللي احنا شفناه في الفيديو, which is 5 plus 7 times 3 equals to 36 or 26. Before we know the answer to this question, let's move to the activity number 2 under Access, page 334 in your school book. Let's see it all together. And here in the Access part, as you see here we have matching activity. We are asked, مطلوب مننا to draw a line connecting equations that are related to one another. هوصل equations اللي related to each other. Now I'll give you time to think about problem number 1 and 2 and draw a line connecting them to the other problems related to them. And now, after you have finished, let's review our questions or our answers all together. Now, problem number 1 in the first column, which is what? Yes, 8 times 4. Here, 8 times 4 equals what? Of course, 8 times 4 equals 32, right? Then, the other equation that is related to it in the opposite column, and عايزة أشوف relation related to this one in the second column, is what? Yes, as you see here, is problem number C, right? طيب, problem number 3 بتقول لي إيه؟ بتقول لي 32 divided by 4 equals what? Of course, 32 divided by 4 equals 8, right? Okay, now you can write another equation that would be related to this problem. ممكن أكتب problem تانية related برضو to these two problems, which is what? Yes, I can divide 32 by 8. ممكن أعمل 32 divided by 8. 32 divided by 8 gives me what? Of course, 32 divided by 8 equals to 4. Okay, now you will do the same thing with problem number 2. Here's problem number 2. 72 divided by 9 equals what? 72 divided by 9 equals to 8. طيب, the second step, I want to see the other equation which is related to this one in the second column. So, as you see here, problem D is related to this one. Why? Because he's asking me 9 times what gives me 72? Of course, 9 times 8 gives me 72, right? Now you can write a division equation that would be related to this problem. ممكن أكتب بقى problem تانية related to this one, which is what? Yes, I can write 72 divided by 8, right? Here I write 9 times 8 equals 72, with 72 divided 9 gives me 8, so 72 divided by 8 gives me 9, of course. Okay, now let's move to problem number 3. Problem number 3 here, he's asking me 64 divided what equals 8? Yes, 64 divided by 8 equals 8. Okay, now I want to see another equation in the second column which is related to this one. Who can tell me? Yes, I see that problem A is related to this problem. Why? Because he's asking me here 8 times 8 equals what? Of course, I know that 8 times 8 gives me 64, right? Okay, and now all the previous problems had only one operation, multiplication or division. طيب, if the problem has more than one operation, لو عندي problem فيها more than one operation, by which operation should we start? هنبدأ بأنه operation. Is there a certain order for mathematical operations? We will find out this answer to these questions in build. Now we have two problems to solve it. Let's do it all together on the board. And now we have two problems. We need to calculate their products. In problem number 1, we need to find the answer to 4 plus 5 times 6. تعالوا نكتبها مع بعض. 4 plus 5 times 6. Okay? Now, and in problem number 2, we need to find the answer to 5 times 6 plus 4. 5 times 6 plus 4. Okay, I am sure you have noticed that in the two problems, we have the same numbers, 4, 5, and 6 in the two problems. And the same operations, addition and multiplication. في two problems عندي addition and multiplication. However, when solving the problems, have you got the same products? لما حليتوا two problems, طلع لكم نفس الانسر? When I asked my students to answer these two problems, they said that the product or the answer was of the first one was 54. And the second one was 34. As you can see, when the order of operations is changed, لما غير ال order of operation, the answer also will be changed. Now we will learn together how now the order we should follow, ال order اللي احنا هنعمله in the problems with more than one operation. لما يكون عندي أكتر من operation واحدة. In step number 1, we do the operations in brackets. اوكي، اول حاجه بعملها الاوبريشن ان براكتس. يعني ايه؟ يعني لو عندي بروبلم فيها براكتس لازم احل البراكتس first. This is the first one. The second step we do multiplication and division in order from left to right. يبقى اول حاجه I solve the brackets. تاني حاجه I must do multiplication or division. We do the operation that comes first. And then step number 3, I will make addition and subtraction in order also from left to right. Now, we do the operation that comes first also. So, these steps are brief, doing operations in brackets, multiplication and division, and then the last step is addition and subtraction. If you want to apply what we have just learned about the order of the two problems with addition and multiplication, we will do the multiplication first and then addition. يبقى أول حاجة هعملها المultiplication وبعدين الaddition. To solve the first problem, we will multiply 5 times 6. يبقى زي ما اتفقنا هبتدي بالمultiplication. So I multiply first 5 times 6. Here 5 times 6 gives me what? Yes, 5 times 6 gives me 30, right? So I will write 30 here. And then what should I do? I will add 4 to the 30. يبقى هعمل 4 plus 30. Here 4 plus 30 gives me what? Yes, 4 plus 30 equals 34. And this is the answer of the first problem. Now, in the second one, we will multiply first. زي ما اتفقنا بعمل multiplication first. So I will multiply 5 times 6. 5 times 6 gives me what? Yes, لسه قايلين 5 times 6 equals 30. So I will write here 30. The second step is what? I will add the 4. So 30 plus 4 equals also 34. And this is the answer of the second question. That's why the order of operation is very important in solving problems. عشان نخلي ال order of operation, this is very important in solving the problems. There is a chart for the order of operations in your books on page 335. You can check it at any time to help you solving any problems. And now, let's practice using the order of operations in solving the puzzles in the activity, exploring the order of operations on the same page in your school book. Let's see it all together. And here in the build part, we have pictures. Each picture has a puzzle that represents an equation with shapes. Each shape represents a number. كل shape represents number. So we need to find the value of the shape. In the first puzzle, in the box shown here, like you see here, this is the first puzzle. We need to find the number that each rectangle with triangle وكمان circle represents. In the first equation, this is the first equation as you see here. We have, in the first equation, the rectangle is added 3 times. Look here, I have 3 rectangles, right? And that's equal to 12. الانسر بتاع ال 3 rectangles equals to 12. طيب ده معناه ايه؟ ده معناه we are multiplying the value of the rectangle by 3. To find the value of a rectangle, we will divide what? Yes, أنا محتاجة أعمل 12 divided by 3 عشان أعرف ال value of each rectangle. When I make 12 divided by 3, 12 divided by 3 gives me what? Of course, 3 times 4 gives me 12. So 12 divided by 3 equals to 4. طب ده معناه إيه؟ ده معناه in each rectangle represents 4. So the first rectangle is 4, second rectangle is 4, and the third one also 4. طيب, let's move to the second equation. Here's the second equation as you see. In the second equation, we have 2 rectangles and 1 triangle as you see. طيب, now we know that the rectangle is equal to 4. احنا خلاص قلنا each rectangle equals to 4. So I write 4 here and another 4 here. Then what should I do? يبقى أنا عندي 2 rectangles equals to 8. 4 plus 4 gives me 8. Now we have 8 plus 1 triangle. The answer is 18, right? 4 plus 4, 8 plus 1 triangle gives me 18. طيب, عشان أعرف ال value of triangle, what should I do? Yes, I will make 18 minus 8. Here 18 minus 8 gives me what? 18 minus 8, of course, gives me 10. So the value of this triangle equals to 10. Okay, and now let's move to the third equation. Here is the third one. The third equation here we have 2 triangles and 1 circle. As you see here, 2 triangles and 1 circle. And the sum of all these shapes equals to 26. We know that the 1 triangle equals to 10. Okay, so I will write here 10 and another 10. 10 plus 10 gives me 20. طيب, ده معناه ايه? To find the circle, I will make 26 minus 20. 26 minus 20 gives me what? Of course, gives me 6. So now we know that the circle, the value of 1 circle equals to 6, right? And now let's move to the fourth one. This is the fourth equation. Here in the fourth equation, we have what? Yes, as you see here, I have 1 triangle, 1 circle, and 1 rectangle. Okay, what should I do? Yes, look, 1 triangle means 10 plus 1 circle. I will put here 6, and the rectangle equals to 4. So I have 10 plus 6 times 4. Now we need to use the order of operation. Why? Because here I have plus and multiplication. طيب, what should I do? Yes, زي ما احنا متفقين, I will multiply first. So 6 times 4 equals what? 6 times 4 equals 24. So I make 24 plus 10. 24 plus 10 equals what? 24 plus 10 equals to 34. So my answer will be 34. And now I am sure you have noticed how important it is to use the order of operations in solving your problems. Now let's move to the second puzzle on page 336 and solve using the same way. Let's move to this part. Okay, here as you see, this is the second puzzle. Let's solve it all together. But first I'll give you time to think about this answer, and when we are back, we can review it all together. Now I am sure many students of you have solved the puzzle and found the value of each shape. In the first equation, we have 3 eyes of Horus, right? As you see here, this is the first equation. Type. And their sum is 18. The sum of the 3 eyes is 18. So, can we say that 1 eye of Horus is multiplied by 3? Okay? Type. The 1 eye will be equal to what? عشان أعرف ال 1 eye يبقى هعمل 18 divided by 3. Here 18 divided by 3 equals what? 3 times what gives me 18? Right. 3 times 6 gives me 18. So each eye, the value of each eye is equal to 6. So I write here 6 plus 6 plus 6 gives me 18. And now let's move to the second equation. Here's the second one. In the second equation, the eye of Horus is repeated twice. And that's 12, right? So 6 plus 6 equals to 12. Then the equation will be what? 12 plus the ank equals 23, right? 6 plus 6, 12 plus this ank equals to 23. طيب عشان أعرف the value of the ank, what should I do? Of course, I will make 23 minus the 2 eyes, which is 12, right? So 23 minus 12 equals what? Equals to 11, and this is the value of 1 ank, right? Okay, let's move to the third equation. Here is, as you see here, this is the third equation. In the third equation, we can use what? 11 instead of the ank. خلاص عرفنا ان الانك the value of it 11, so I'll put 11 here. طيب دلوقتي انا عندي 1 ank 11 and we have 2 pyramids. The sum of them equals to 17. طب عشان اعرف the value of 2 pyramids, what should I do? Yes, هعمل 17 minus 11, right? 17 minus 11 equals what? Of course, the answer is 6. طب هي 6 دي 1 pyramid ولا the value of 2 pyramids? Of course, 6 is the value of 2 pyramids. So the value of each pyramid equals what? هعمل 6 divided by 2. So 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. يبقى each pyramid الvalue بتاعه 3. And if I add 11 plus 3 plus 3 gives me 17. Okay, now the value of each eye of Horus, as we know, is 6. The value of the ank is 11. وكمان the value of each pyramid is 3. In the last equation, هنستخدم كل values دي to solve the fourth one. Okay, now let's solve the last equation. Here I have 2 pyramids. طب احنا لسه قايلين 1 pyramid is what? Equals to 3. يبقى 2 pyramids equals to 6. So I'll put 6 here. Times, take care of the sign. Here we have times. Times what? The eye of the Horus is 6. So I'll put here 6. Okay, and here my sign is plus. Plus what? Plus the 2 ank. So 1 ank, the value of it 11. يبقى 2 ank, the value of them 22. 11 plus 11 equals to 22. طيب دلوقتي أنا عندي 2 operations, which is multiplication and addition, right? So what do you think of these puzzles? Okay, first of all, I will use I will multiply first. زي ما متفقين, I will multiply first and then make addition. So I must multiply first 6 times 6. Hey, 6 times 6 equals what? Of course, 36 plus 22. 36 plus 22 gives me what? Yes, 36 plus 22 gives me 58. So the answer of all these shapes equals to 58. Now, what do you think of these puzzles? Are they challenging? I am sure you have enjoyed trying to solve them together. Thus, we have learned how to find the value of different shapes and in equations and apply وعرفنا ازاي نطبق the order of operations to solve the equations. Now you can solve problem number 4 and 5 in the same way. As you see here, these are problem number 4 and 5. Now we have solved different problems, so you can now answer the question under Connect part, page 338 in your school book. Let's see it. Here's the Connect part. As you see, the question says what? It says, why is the order in which we perform operations when solving problems is very important? I asked my students to think about the answer of this question together. وسمعتهم بيقولوا that they were confused about the order of the numbers. كانوا ساعات بيتلخبطوا في order of the numbers in the problem وعشان كده الانسر بتاعهم كان بيطلع wrong. They're thinking in this way عشان هم بيفكروا بالطريقة دي. ده هيساعدهم ان هم يعرفوا الانسر to this question. Okay, and now وكمان هيعرفوا importance of the order of operations. Now you can also answer the questions in your own way and in your own words and share the answer with the other students in your class. Now to have more practice and check your understanding of the order of operation, we'll move to the practice part on page 338 and let's solve the practice part all together. But first, I'll give you time to answer problem number 1 and 2, and when we are back, we will complete solving the problems all together. Now I am sure you applied what we have learned to answer the two problems. Let's see the problems all together. Here in the practice part, let's read problem number 1. Problem number 1 is asking me to multiply 8 by 2 and then add 13. Okay? طيب زي ما احنا متفقين I must follow the standard order of operations. In order of operations I must multiply first. So I will start with multiplication يعني هعمل 8 times 2. 8 times 2 gives me what? Yes, 8 times 2 equals 16. So I write 16 plus 13. Right? Okay. Who can tell me 16 plus 13, the answer is what? The answer equals to 29. Okay. And now let's move to problem number 2. Here is problem number 2. It says that I want to multiply 5 times 6 and then subtract 12. So I will start with multiplication. 5 times 6 equals what? 30. And then I will make 30 minus 12. Here 30 minus 12 equals what? Of course, you can use the strategies we have learned to find the difference. You will find that 30 minus 12 equals to 18. And now problem number 3 started with subtraction followed by multiplication. الأول subtraction وبعدين multiplication. طيب زي ما احنا متفقين I will multiply first. يبقى هعمل 80 times 2. 80 times 2 equals what? Yes, 80 times 2 equals 160. And don't forget to do 200 minus 160. 200 minus 160 gives me what? Yes, you can use any strategy to know the difference between these two numbers and the answer will be 40. Let's move to problem number 4, which has addition and division. زي ما احنا شايفين problem number 4 فيها addition وكمان division. So I will start with division first. يبقى هعمل 8 divided by 2. 8 divided by 2 equals 4. يبقى هعمل 5 plus 4 equals to 9. Now, the last one, problem number 5. Here I have division وكمان addition. So, I will start with what? I must start with the division. يبقى هعمل 20 divided by 5 gives me 4. And then the addition step, 4 plus 5 equals to 9. Now we have learned about the order of operations to solve problems with two operations. وكمان we have applied it to the problems and puzzles we solved together. Do you remember the question we recorded while watching the video? Now it will be very easy to you to answer it. To practice answering more problems, you can go to the Check Your Understanding part. You can access this part by scanning the code shown here and in your book's page 334. I hope you have enjoyed our lesson today and see you next lesson, inshallah. Thank you so much.